Hello and welcome to DC Figures and Collectibles. This is the first show of 2020, so right off the bat, I want to say Happy New Year. I'm Tyler G of Batman Figs on Instagram, as well as Batman TAS Figs on YouTube. I'm joined by two people today, as you can see. First off, my co-host, who's here all the time. It is Scott from @the.batfan on Instagram. And then we are joined by our special guest for the entirety of the show. His name is Keven from Ranky Customs, and he is a big friend of the show. And I'm sure Scott would agree that he's helped him out a ton in getting some hard-to-find figures.
Absolutely, yes, definitely. Yeah,
and we're going to do a little bit of a regular show, but it's not an exact regular show because instead of doing reviews on the episodes or talking too much about, what's going on, we're going to talk about an extended portion of what our favorite figures of 2019 were. We're going to break them down into different categories, and that's probably the part that I'm looking forward to the most, as well as talking about a lot of the new stuff that we got to see already from McFarlane. And I know Scott's really disappointed in everything he saw. He's not pre-ordering anything. But right off the bat, we'd like to say that Scott had a great few weekends. That, in case you haven't seen it, it was a past weekend where we didn't get to discuss because we had a holiday called Christmas. Him and Lewis of @the Bat Collector did a Christmas thing, and this was the first picture.
Yeah, but that feels so long ago now.
It's does.
Very weird.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, it's crazy. It feels so long ago, but
this was a strong start.
Cheers, man. Yeah, appreciate that. No, it's I just had a picture of Batman and Robin stood in my windowsill, where the Christmas tree is. So yeah, just try to keep it nice and simple with that one. And
the lights reflecting off the window were very cool.
Yeah, cheers, man. Yeah, it was a very sort of Christmas with a Joker theme idea, and that one speaks for itself. Playing Origins through Christmas, and, yeah, Origins is just unbelievable. I hate how people crap on it so much. It's just a fantastic game. I really enjoy it.
I don't even know if anyone really believes it when they say they don't enjoy it. They just say
yeah.
And there's Laffy.
Yeah, that Joker was actually he got displayed downstairs throughout the entirety of Christmas with all the other decorations in the house.
That's awesome.
Made sure Joker got displayed where he should be.
And Laffy got to watch people open presents. He loves that. Dude, you're hitting every note that you need to as a Batman fan so far. He continues strong here.
Yeah, me and my dad watched Batman Returns on Christmas Day. It was fantastic. Love rewatching that. There's something you guys will probably feel the same, but there's something about watching it on Christmas Day. It's just I don't know. It's so much cooler.
It definitely is, and especially watching it and seeing just how awesome the musical score is again too is always a pleasure.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. Absolutely.
The super nitpicky fan would say, but that bat emblem's different.
Oh God, yeah. Well, that's something that hopefully going to address very soon.
And then this one is, I think, one of my favorite pictures I've seen throughout the whole Christmas season, as it were, because setup is just outstanding. You even have Riddler's toys from this season, which are awesome.
Yeah, I thought they'd be cool to just chuck in there as a bit of an extra thrown in.
That's canon. It's probably released that year.
Brilliant.
And I love you just got everything that you would need there for a perfect Joker Harley and Christmas.
Cheers, man. That's very kind. Yeah, put a few extra accessories in as well. I got the Christmas Harley designer figure. It's from the Gotham Alfred figure. I think it's Alfred. Yeah, it is Alfred. Yeah.
That would be in my cart too.
Yeah, yeah, man. Honestly, it's a brilliant fireplace. Fantastic. I think Lewis has got it as well. He's at the Bat Collector.
I started seeing a lot of people post that they got this figure after you posted this. I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but I've never even seen this figure before. But
it's a brilliant figure. And I remember a previous guest. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Toys of Arkham who said about this figure looking really like the Moon of the Wolf episode. And then when I went out to just have a look around for some cheap figures, I found that one at B&M's and bought it because it was only like 15 quid or something like that. So I thought I'd just use it for that picture. It's quite a good background character for the wolf.
Now, usually we'd be done, but we got to see another. We're starting right here.
Yes, well, okay. So when obviously for this podcast, we're going to be discussing figures that were released this year and also figures that we brought this year. But this was mine and Lewis's theme that we did when we counted down our top 5 figures that we brought in this year. So I wanted to do release this year, but something that dawned on me is quite honestly, I don't buy many figures that are released this year, or at the time I buy a lot of older figures. I don't. Some of the new stuff's proper crap.
That's true.
Especially when you got Mattel doing the multiverse line, but we'll come on to that later. Like, there's nothing decent to buy. There's really nothing decent to buy, and so I decided to just do my own thing and do top 5 that I've brought this year instead.
I like that though.
It gets boring. Some of the older stuff's better. It really is. Some of the older collectible stuff is so much more enjoyable and just looks better generally.
Plus, you've had a year where you've not only gotten figures from the past, like you've shown the 5 point of articulation, but you've gotten a few really cool customs from the different creators, and you've also tracked down like that one Mr. Freeze suit for Batman, which was some people never even heard of. So that's crazy.
Yeah, that was a tough one to find, and that Joker figure that we're looking at there is head sculpt from Action Figure Customs. The suit is made by GP Slot, and the head sculpt is painted by @VinFaith Custom. And all 3 of them are fantastic people. So massive thanks to all 3 of them for that fantastic figure. And then use the Clown Prince of Crime Mezco as the base for that figure, which is that alone. That Mezco figure is great, but obviously we'll come on to that later.
And the beautiful photo done by Scott of At the Bat Fan. And then this Mayfix, this is one that has got me. It almost got me close to buying until Soap showed theirs. But go on into why you picked this one.
Yes, definitely want to talk about that Soap one. But this figure is, I mean, this one I really enjoyed doing this picture. I took it at about, I want to say about 6 a.m. in the morning. Took it to the car parking lot where I work at, and where I park to go to work. And it was bloody freezing cold lying on the floor doing the picture of that Batman. But it just reminded me of the Dark Knight Rises when he's in that car park with going against Bane, and when he returns for the first time. It's reminded me of that. So done that picture with it, and it was fun to do an outside picture with my camera. First time I proper tried it. So using what is more sort of tricky settings and stuff like that, just good fun. It was really good.
Do you feel like the camera let in a way more light than your phone would have?
Well, yeah, definitely. It's funny, when doing pictures, especially now with extreme sets, I have to use hardly any light whatsoever because it drowns out so much. It's crazy. The amount of light the camera lets in is unbelievable. It really is. Like, it's very deceiving. Like, the phone, you used to have to light everything massive, and then it would not show as much. But then now it's the opposite way around. So just adjusting to that is a little bit tricky. Yeah.
And then coming in here.
And this one, I have to thank the...
thank you, Keven.
I have to thank Keven, who is I can finally personally say a thank you to him. Yeah, massive thanks to him for helping me get these unbelievable figures. Yeah, absolutely love them, man. And the whole wave is fantastic. I could have picked anyone from that wave, but the Batman and Robin are just so damn cool. And like, that figure is so good. I'm prepared to pay all the money just for that cape. That cape is just so good, and the Robin's fantastic, and so massive thanks, Keven. Really appreciate it because they look brilliant.
Some would say they're even better than some of the customs Keven makes, but I wouldn't go that far.
They look fantastic. Love those ones.
And then speaking of the hard to find, hard to track down, some didn't even know existed figure that now we get blessed with these photos.
If we're going on the actual year released, then this one comfortably would be my favourite figure of the entire year. The V-Toys Arkham Origins
spoiler alert
extreme environmental suit. Unreal figure, it really is. The detail is just fantastic. It fits in with all the other DC collectible Arkham figures, and it's just awesome. Took inspiration from the Cold Heart poster for that picture.
It's just brilliant. Yeah. Look at all the details.
Honestly, the details are fantastic, and it fits in any figure that fits alongside that Mr. Freeze well is a good figure, because that Mr. Freeze is unreal. And big thanks to @LCMK2 on Instagram for the Ice Spikes, who's disappeared off Instagram recently. I don't know where he's gone. If you can listen in, if you're listening in, then please come back.
He existed only to get you that figure, then disappeared.
Yeah.
And then
easiest decision I ever make. Batman 89. Been wanting this figure for so many years, as you will know, Tyler, and finally got it this year. So he's number one.
Not only that, but you got a beautiful cape to go with him.
Yeah, again, the cape made by GP Slot. I'm hopefully getting a cape from Harker Customs. He needs to hurry up and make it. But
get on it, Harker.
Tyler will know that joke. But yeah, he needs to hurry up and get on it, because I'm looking forward to that cape. But yeah, at the GP Slot cape, fantastic.
And then while we're here,
yes, this is gonna be a problem with no light, but let's have a go.
This is so good.
Thanks.
I'm sure this drove people crazy. Like, where can I get this? Where can I get this?
There we go.
Nice.
It looks like it's legit made from the factory.
It's freaking awesome. There it is. Look at it. Look at the big round head. He's fantastic. Awesome figure.
Yeah, thanks. He took the better part of all of last year. Like, he was kind of in the background. I was working on him most of the year, just off and on, because there were lots of little frustrating things with him. And like, the majority of customizing that you don't hear about is sanding, and then like to get the line across his chest like that, just constant black, orange to get it, perfectly, no smudges or anything. So
fantastic figure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's absolutely unbelievable. I love the expression on his face as well. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And then
the little accessories with them too?
Yes, the little accessories.
What accessories came with them?
I'll show you very quickly.
In the background of his picture, you can see a little Starro there. I made 2 little ones from the Batman Beyond episode.
There we go.
Oh, that is even cooler.
Yeah, I made them so you can actually slip over their faces too. So when they take over,
which I'll definitely be doing as a picture, definitely.
See, that's fantastic. The thing that puts it over the top. That is nice.
Yeah, because I was like, he's got to come with something. But then, once I came across, he's actually in Batman Beyond. Technically, it's like, oh, this would be perfect. So
I love how after he says it took a better part of last year. Oh, it's got to come with something. Not to mention all the hard work, and it looks perfect.
It's fantastic.
But yeah, is there any way we could get a hint for what is coming up this weekend, aka right now?
Well, this weekend at the moment we're doing an outer space theme, which has been bloody difficult to do. The Preserver picture and a couple of others came to mind straight away, but some of the other ones have been pretty difficult to think up. So it's been good fun so far, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, I won't spoil them all right now. So if you haven't seen him yet, go check him out. He has a few up. If you haven't already seen a couple of them from the faraway view. But yeah, that's starting the new year off right.
Absolutely. And while we're talking about outer space.
Oh yeah. I got a lot of flack for this in the comment section.
Really?
Some people just so pissed off that I made Starfire a little shorter. I was like, you don't know the context of the shot. But they were telling me the scale was off, and I got ripped.
And I think that they're fantastic. That Starfire is brilliant.
Yes, and after you showed me here on the show and a couple of Lewis's pictures, I was like, okay, I'll get her. She's dropped in price significantly.
Starfire is fantastic, and Titans drops in the UK at the end of this week. So,
and you're taking a week off, right?
Yeah, I've got a week off booked on the 19th, and I'm going to be watching it all week. I can't wait.
Yes, that's how you do it, folks.
Looks fantastic. Yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. And where's the picture on that? There we go. So you've been doing a few ice pictures lately, I've noticed, especially the Batwing.
Oh, yes. Well, it snowed the day after Christmas here in Southern California, which, again, is bizarre because we had 2 snow days within a month, and we didn't have snow for, years before that. So It was bizarre, but this time I was fully prepared. I was running up and down stairs so fast, getting everything, and making sure I got the pictures I wanted. So I felt like I did enough work, but without catching pneumonia. So
yeah,
it was fun.
No, it looks fantastic. Where's the other snow picture as well? I saw that one there. That's the other one with the Batwing. For anybody interested, fantastic.
I made sure I took some with the cockpit open, cockpit shut, some without Batman and Robin,
and one with the Phantasm.
Yes, and that one I was testing out the night shot again with my new camera.
Yeah, it looks brilliant, that one. I really do like that. And there's like I don't know what it is. I think it does almost look like it could be in sort of like a graveyard scene.
Yeah,
Mask of the Phantasm. It looks really nice, that one. And there's the Superman picture as well, because this is a figure that Keven very kindly got me, and it's a picture you've uploaded this week. Kingdom Come Superman, amazing figure.
Amazing figure for sure. And I am looking forward to the conclusion of the CW Crisis finally. It feels like it's been forever.
I've not seen any of it yet. I need to watch it if I can.
Oh, you're lucky. You get to just binge it when you're all taking that week off.
I've heard rumours that it's coming to Netflix, the CW, or the CW shows. I hope it does, because I'll have a chance to properly watch it.
That'd be
fantastic. Nice. This is another wintry picture I wanted to ask you about that you can't even bloody see because of my camera angle. I just zoom out. Fantastic shot, that one.
Thank you. I definitely had to get more penguins in this time.
Yeah, it's a very Batman Returns feel this Christmas. Like, I feel like every year we don't see a lot of Batman Returns, but this year there's been quite a bit, which has been enjoyable to see.
A lot of people asking for it, so I'm glad.
Yeah. And Mr. Freeze as well, in keeping with the wintry pictures. It's we were talking about in the last episode. Nice picture for that too.
Yes, I had to show off the $1,000 accessory.
Yeah, it is actually a $1,000 accessory, isn't it? It genuinely is. And where is the other picture I was going to ask you about? There it is. It's the custom Joker that your cousin made. Brilliant figure.
Yes, and he has so many toys and so many figures that he never shows off. So occasionally he lets me come over and he says, "Go for it and shoot what you want." So I'm thankful he let me shoot this one. And it doesn't look as good as yours. I'm just desperate for a Joker figure. So hopefully McFarlane shows something like that. So that's what I want to see.
That would be very cool. That would be
hopefully a whole wave. Give me Arthur. Give me Carnival.
Yes.
Give me that version.
Fantastic one to do.
White face with the blood splatter.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be a fantastic one to do.
You give me Gary.
Get you.
That's another test shot of the night shot. That's a light with no light.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, that's barely anything.
No way, that's fantastic. How are you finding this camera?
Oh, I love it. And you could tell it's with the night shot, the less the light, the longer it takes. It looks like it's almost buffering on the internet when you hit it, because it's just having to have such a long exposure to let more light in. The next thing I'm debating is just going out in the middle of nowhere and seeing if you actually get as cool as star photos as they show in the commercials. But we'll see.
That's an interesting idea. We should do like a Superman picture in a field with the stars.
Or Starfire.
Or Starfire, yeah. You have
Green
to
Lantern.
see if it works.
But that's all for photos. I finished up BTAS, so that was fun.
8th time through, isn't it? But is it going to be the final time? I don't think it is. I don't think you can get to 10 times. I reckon you can do that.
I think you get to 10 times.
Yeah, get to 10 times.
Well, with the new camera, I've just I'm sure that you feel the same way. It's brought a whole new desire to shoot photos and a whole new
it does
motivation to do it.
No, it does, to be honest. And even when you've done pictures a couple of times over, having a new camera gives you the chance to do it again, but do it in better quality and try and improve upon what you did previously. And that's something that you don't have when you've got the same camera. You can't really always try and do the same thing. It gets boring. But if people notice the difference in quality, then it's worth having another go at it.
I would say so. And then in terms of staying motivated and keeping things going, Keven, how are you doing? Especially with all your customs.
Yeah.
I mean, every time we
just
talk to you, we
shipping
usually get
away.
an update of the list. You know that you have a list.
Yeah, my list has grown significantly. Let's see here. I last count, last time we talked, it's probably doubled. I had like maybe 6. Yeah, I had about like 30 or 40 planned. Well, no, it's more than doubled. I'm like 100 now.
Dang.
Yeah. You can see the actual list here. There's the new Batman Adventures.
It's fantastic to see.
Yeah. This whole thing is Batman animated, just the first series. And then it continues there. And there's Superman. These are all the recipes afterwards, too. And then Batman Beyond. And Justice League. So, yeah.
Oh, I'd love to see some Justice League figures coming up. What's your next big project that you're working on?
There's a bunch all at once. Like I've mentioned, Raish. This is where he's at right now. Got his cape.
Oh, see, that looks pretty cool still.
It's basically the same thing that Zelu did, like this little foam, because I did like a paper template first to test it out, and then basically it wraps around, and then these go over his shoulders.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been glued, and then I've got like the painter's tape on there for the gold trim, and then I'll put pretty much like a foam splint in here.
Yeah.
To be able to get the right shape so it holds, instead of sticking out like that. But gosh, there's my version of Clark, because the one I did, I actually did as a birthday gift for my brother. So I got to make my own. Here's the Clock King so far.
Oh yes, Clock King was one that.
It's about time someone makes them.
Yep. Gosh. Oh. So I don't know if you remember the Lobo. Well, actually, it wasn't Lobo. You wouldn't have known it was Lobo, but the little honey pot that I said, this isn't Winnie the Pooh. Do you remember that teaser I posted? Well, I finished it, and do you recognize that from the bar fight?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You fooled a lot of people.
Yeah. I just haven't posted it yet, but I just figured it kind of sums up his character. Like, he doesn't really care about people. He just kind of shoved him in a pot and he's good to go. But it's a good pose for him.
That logo's amazing, by the way. He looks fantastic.
Thanks. Yeah, he's probably my favorite one I've done. Just, because I was looking forward to doing him and then really pleased with how well he turned out. So.
Okay, speaking of favorites, can we get like your top favorites of the year that you created, the past 2019?
That I created.
Your favorites, your personal favorites.
Yeah. Trying to think which ones were 19 here. Let's pull up that picture again. The one I just did. They're actually, I'd say they're all in here. The Green Lantern, because the way his head turned out, just amazing. Very happy with that. I guess Spellbinder wasn't last year. Yeah, this won't be like in any ranking order, just 5 in general. But definitely Lobo, Green Lantern. Just looking at these here. What else did I do? Can't remember if Batman Beyond Superman was...
Yeah, you did make his head look a lot better.
Oh, Green Lantern?
Green Lantern, yeah. Nice. Look at the difference.
Yeah, it's night and day, isn't it? It's just fantastic, that head sculpt.
Even the matte effect looks way better.
Yeah.
I think Blight was finished last year.
Yeah, Blight. Yeah, he's a brilliant figure.
This is one of my favorite pictures you've done.
Thanks. Yeah, me too.
This is so good.
I have a little kind of callback picture with that. I'll be posting soon. It's Bruce and Clark, but you'll see. It's kind of cool.
This looks professional.
Yeah, I'm getting them all mixed up because I work on so many at a time. Like, you're asking what I'm doing now.
Ooh, with the PNG.
The what?
It looks like a PNG in the background. Oh,
Yeah.
in the box.
Yeah.
Sorry for the people listening on podcast.
Yeah. I think
They're just hearing
Lobo's
sound.
the best. I think Lobo's definitely your best that you've done this year. Lobo's amazing. Just
Thanks.
purely because you've got to create so many parts that you create yourself on there. Like sometimes, obviously with like the Clark Kent figure, it's a mainly repaint job, but that you've had to create so much extra parts yourself on that, and with the accessories as well. So I think that's definitely going to be one I'll go for this year.
Yeah. I'll show them to you again just because. Even
brilliant.
his hair went through probably 4 different states and over a couple months, and
Brilliant.
my wife actually didn't put on the hair too. I was like, what do you think? Does this look like the source material? And she kind of, helped me out on that. But I think I may have shown this one before, but this is just the start of Anti-Kryptonite Superman.
Oh, I already love the boots.
Yeah. Gosh. I just have, part of the kind of the chaos of all my recipes is that, the prices on all of these have gone up so much over the last year that, I just kind of bought all the parts I needed for 100 or so. And like he's going to be, Arkham Asylum Joker. It's kind of the start using Grey Ghost and Joker parts.
You killed a Grey Ghost? No.
I know. Especially because he was pretty new. I just opened the real one, like for the collection, and then was like, well, I'm just going to take him apart now. And then like this little thing, it was a weird freebie. I don't even remember. It was I bought an import figure and they included like this little dinosaur thing. But I was like,
Okay.
you know what? This will make the perfect crypto. For Bizarro.
Okay.
With the little open mouth thing.
I know what you mean. Yeah. That's perfect.
This is gonna be the Bruce Timm collector, and this will be his mini Batman.
Oh, the toy collector guy?
Yeah. He's got a long way to go there.
Cool. That will be awesome.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm loving getting the previews.
Oh yeah, I mean some of these
It's like a Comic-Con in of itself. Comic-Con of Ricky Customs.
Yeah. This is kind of the start of New Adventures Bruce Wayne in his turtleneck.
Oh,
gray and black.
Classy.
Yep.
The chic version.
And then the animated series, from Perchance to Dream, in his blue turtleneck will be this one.
Oh yeah, cool.
Oh my gosh.
I can already see the base of that. It looks
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'll have to expand, bring him up.
I already know that's my favorite.
Legs are short, but well, and then with all these, I've also planned, like how they're going to be all displayed because I have sort of mini dioramas and scenes and setups like that. And one of them will be like the bell tower with, the turtleneck Batman or turtleneck Bruce against Batman, and just all kinds of mini diorama type stuff. It'll be like, I thought this would be a 2-year project to get all of them done, but since I've nearly tripled my list, it's going to be like 5 years or more total.
Yeah.
I'm already like 2 years in, so. And there's more parts here. Yeah. My desk is just covered in experimentation.
You teased a Green Arrow and Jor-El as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, it wasn't Jor-El. It was... Oh, yeah, no one ever figured that out. I said it was a Kent. That was a trick for Kent Nelson.
Okay.
So he'll be Dr. Fate.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a bit of
okay, that's cool. I thought it might have been Jor-El or someone as a random guess, but
yeah,
that's pretty cool. Yeah, Dr. Fate will be a fantastic one to see.
Yeah, and of course the Question's on my list. He's one of my favorites.
Yes, Question's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean,
now
name a Justice League member. I might be making them.
You mentioned that parts are costing you a little bit more because you saw the prices of all the animated figures. Did that blow you away how quickly they went up?
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Especially like the expression pack Joker?
Yeah. Yeah, he's like 180 now, and even Batman's like 100. I was able to at least get an extra of him before he went up. Batman, not Joker. But yeah, there's
one custom I have an idea for. Want to know if you've already thought about it. Have you thought about doing, because they released the Bat Cycle recently, the helmeted style for Robin?
And I bought another Two-Face to make Zuko, so we can drag him in.
Oh, cool.
Yep, it's all covered.
See, he's way ahead of the game.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I love that you also have like a cookbook essentially of all your the way you do it.
And even so many of them, like for the question, he's going to be essentially like my new Batman Adventures Bruce Wayne recipe mixed with the World's Finest Joker and the purple coat. You kind of put those together, and that's my question recipe. So I have so many of them, it's kind of just like second nature. Like, I'll just use half of that, half of this, and
yeah, that's a good thing as well. Isn't it? With Bruce Timm's art, so many of it is like streamlined and it's all very similar to one another, which is fantastic.
Yep.
Now, I kind of want to ask, because we kind of talked about it a little bit in messages, and you acquire parts for what you do, and we recently saw the new animated version of McFarlane toys that are due to be out any day now. Some people are seeing them in the East Coast of America, and that's about it. But they're about to drop. Some people saying this week, some people saying next week, some places saying February. But what were your initial reactions on? I want to first ask specifically about the animated style, because I mean that's what you work with for custom. So
yeah. Word yikes. Yeah, I don't know why they stylized a style to make the figures. It's just kind of I know, Scott, you're excited about them, so I'm sorry to
that's fine.
Crap on here.
No.
I don't know, they just kind of strike me as like upscaled, super articulated play school figures. Like the look of them, like how they're shiny and cheap and not on model at all. But yeah, I'm not a fan.
My first initial reaction was like, it looks like a combination of TMBA and BTS, like hybrid.
Yeah.
Like maybe they're trying to make it all encompassing. I don't know. But the first thing I was like thinking about was, oh man, I wonder if you can use those for parts. But I also forgot they're 7-inch figures too.
Yeah. I thought I was hoping I'd be able to, but yeah, since they're bigger, I don't know. We'll see who they make. Maybe different ones I could, but I mean, certainly the Adventures Continues line, from DC Collectibles. I've got a lot of those on pre-order for parts. So yeah,
and that's important with the pre-orders, because the whole McFarlane figures, the waves that they're showing, those are pretty much sold out almost anywhere you look.
Yeah, that was fast.
I was really surprised looking on Big Bad Toy Store. So now I'm going to be using a lot of gas to hunt. I know that.
Yeah.
And then since we brought it on, Scott, let's hear your reaction. And let's just get into all of them, not just anime.
Absolutely. Okay, so animated ones I've already pre-ordered, to be honest. They're the only ones I have pre-ordered, because they're the ones I definitely don't want to get. The Batman is definitely, without question, the weak one.
Which Batman?
The animated Batman is the weak one of the three animated.
Okay, yeah.
The head sculpt's not the best, although I don't think it's going to look like that on the final thing. I think it'll be slightly better, but kind of disappointed they didn't do the blue shading. I was hoping they may do that, but just that's not happened.
That's true.
I do like the accessories though. I think the grapple gun looks brilliant. And as an actual figure itself, I think it's quite a cool figure, but obviously not very accurate. Then we look at Superman. That is one of the best looking Superman figures I think I've ever seen. I love it. I love the head sculpt on it. I think the head sculpt on it looks really pretty damn good, to be honest. And the cape, nice cape as well. Big broad shoulders, which is what you need in a Superman animated figure. And GL's okay. Annoyed that they didn't give him black gloves, which they should have done. They give him the sort of open hand, which looks a bit dodgy, but I like the head sculpt, and I like the fact that they've gone for the JLU head sculpt. It's my favourite out of the two designs for John. Because it just looks more aggressive with that head sculpt that they've gone for with the beard, and they didn't copy DC Collectibles with the original head, which is good. And possibly you could do a head swap on them as well, potentially, and put that head swap on the new one. So yeah, I love those animated figures.
Well, that's cool accessories for Green Lantern.
Yeah, I did get you flip the camera around.
Like the gun, the willpower gun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You can even put it around his face. That's a cool accessory.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I really do like that, and I do like the head sculpt. I think it looks pretty.
I wonder if the I wonder if you could swap the DC Collectibles hands onto the multiverse one, or that's just gonna look too goofy.
Perhaps so. Yeah. I mean, sure, you could put like the Batman hands on there or something, perhaps.
Yeah.
Even though you can't see the ring on there, you can just edit a ring in. It's not difficult, but the Hellbat, unbelievable.
That's my favorite one of the wave.
That is an outstanding figure. It really is. And
I might get 2 or 3 of those.
Most places are already sold out of that. Big Bad Toy Store sold out.
They're so cool looking.
Just gone. Armored Superman looks fantastic too. It
looks cool, but I don't know. Where's it from? I have no idea where it's from.
I think it's from a comic.
Also looks like Optimus Prime and a Gundam.
Yeah, I think it's from like a comic. Yeah.
Yeah, I've read which one
though, because he's Superman. Why does Superman need armor? He's the Man of Steel.
Goodness knows. Maybe the man needs steel.
Goodness knows.
Yeah, I think I read last night where he's from, but I'm not sure now. It's a specific story, something about someone coming into the Batcave and attacking, and he had to get a bunch of armor.
I will say this one.
Yeah, this is the one I think most people are looking forward to, the Batman Who Laughs. He looks
There's
really
a lot
cool.
of detail you can see on that. And usually the publicity photos suck for any toy company. So
yeah, true. No, true. Then that looks fantastic figure. It really does. So, just on a side note, how cool are the boxes for these figures? I know I don't really care about boxes.
Easy to spot.
Yeah, they look really, really nice. Really do. And it looks so weird seeing that DC Multiverse with McFarlane, but it looks really nice. Where's the other ones here?
The Batgirl looks awesome.
That Batgirl, I was genuinely looking for a new Batgirl figure as a comic figure because I've only got the Arkhamverse one. I wanted something that's like completely different. I
like everything
fantastic.
about it.
Yeah, it looks brilliant.
It has a classic BTAS feel, but more hair showing. I like the movement you get in the cape for poses.
It's got a completely different look to any other Batgirl I've ever seen, really, because they're all the same boring black costume, yellow logo, maybe a purple cape. But this is it's got the grey, lots of yellow on it, nice blue cape.
You could put her on a bat cycle, and because the cape's moving, it'll look cool.
Yes, definitely. No, it looks fantastic, that one. And equally, I really like the Nightwing figure.
Yes, I'm glad I didn't get the multiverse one. This one looks sick.
The multiverse one's terrible when you look at that. The legs are just a bit more chunky. It's very Titans-esque sort of suit. Looks really good. And finally, an aggressive Nightwing face. And
He's not smiling?
Stupid, smirking, horrible multiverse faces they do. I mean, I honestly don't get some of the criticism the Swave's been getting. It looks really good.
Yeah, as much as I don't like the animated, all of the non-animated ones look really great. I don't know why they're so different. Like even just the paint quality looks different. Although she's kind of shiny. The others aren't as shiny. I don't know.
I hope that's just really bad lighting and that they're not that shiny.
Right.
I really like this Harley Quinn, by the way.
I get why they did this one. I know a lot of people are saying another animated Harley Quinn, but this is from the new show that they put on DC Universe, and she wears it in the first episode. So they're going to make it that cool. Yeah, she wears that. So that looks exactly like the show. So I understand that. At least it's not like DC Collectibles are just printing the same thing.
Yeah, it looks fantastic, that one. And
what about that Green Arrow, though?
Green Arrow looks pretty good, I gotta say.
Pretty good. And someone finally made his final costume.
Yeah. He looks fantastic. And
just look at all the detail in the arm and the sleeve on the arm alone. It's crazy.
Yeah, fantastic.
That already shows a lot more detail than Mattel usually tends to put out.
Yeah, and the head sculpt is great.
The zipper looks like it's real.
Yeah, fantastic figure. It really is fantastic, and I actually think, head ruling heart. I think that this Superman figure here, I think that's the best figure that they've probably shown so far. Look at that; it's fantastic. It really
I agree.
is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, perfect modern looking Superman.
I prefer the animated one myself, but I think that realistically, allegiances aside, that is just an outstanding figure. It really is. And the Batman that goes with it isn't half bad as well.
Do you hope some of his shininess is gone?
Look at that. Beautiful Batman figure.
I do like the concept behind. I do like the concept behind the grapple gun too. They're giving some dynamic posability.
And look at the actual grapple end as well. How cool does that look?
Mm-hmm.
I never even looked at that. That's cool that they put that.
Me neither.
Yeah, it looks freaking awesome. Fantastic. Batarangs pretty basic, but it looks.
I mean, if you're a collector, you have tons of Batarangs, so that's not a big.
Yeah, you do. But I also, one thing I was going to mention is I love how they've split them down into three sort of, or is it four? No, it's three sort of waves. You've got like a collector wave. We've got the normal multiverse wave and then an animated wave. I think it's brilliant the way they've done that because it shows they're going to carry on making these figures. And there's an armored wave as well. Sorry, there is 4 waves. So it's fantastic. And I hope they continue with it. And there's the Bat Raptor as well. Not much for that, but I guess it's quite a cool idea.
That looks like a 5-year-old toy.
Yeah, I'm not much for that myself. But
it's pretty big too. I saw a video last night of someone who got them, a couple of them early. I don't know, and that thing is actually pretty big.
It's quite cheap.
It's like bad in it.
It's quite cheap, I suppose. $23.99. That is. It's not too bad. It's only a little bit more than a figure. So,
but it is. Yeah, it is also from. I think they said the Batman Who Laughs comic specifically, which I didn't realize that. But that build-up Batmobile is very small. I don't know if
that's the big. I'm gonna get into all the negatives because Scott will be the positive. I'll be the bad cop. I'll be the devil's advocate here.
Let's do it.
The one thing I don't like about this wave, I don't like the cards because who realistically is going to save the cards? It's going to get lost.
Yeah.
Kids are going to that you have to sacrificing. I feel like an accessory or two, maybe an extra head sculpt. So I don't really like that. I don't like the build of Batmobile thing because you could just buy a Hot Wheels and get the same thing for almost like the same scale. So there again, you're either sacrificing like a cool build a figure wave, which those tend to be really cool collectibles that once you get it, you tend to be happy that you got it. Like the armored Lex Luthor and the Croc, people tend to be happy with. So I'm kind of bummed about that. That's so tiny. I guess you could fudge the scale and stuff if you're really stoked about it and want to use it in toy photography. But in terms of the animated figures, I just don't get whoever's doing the joints. I don't get why they didn't take a cue from like DC Collectibles. As you can see, they allow room for there to be the ball in the joint so that it allows the arm to go down all the way.
Yeah.
And in the pictures, it looks like that's how they look in box, and it looks like that's how they just look. And that even in the picture, they're trying to do that to pose him with his hand on his hip. It's not even touching in the publicity photo. So, I mean, you got all this time, and like the other figures look brilliant, and they look so highly detailed. Like that arrow looks phenomenal. And if you could put that much time into doing that, why not make just the joint be able to put his arm all the way down? I mean, I'm happy that I got the 2 other animated Superman like this. So I probably won't have to get that Superman, but I'm just saying this because in case anyone watches, I hope that they just improve upon it going forward and that the animated line is at least as good or on par as, because they know how many people love it and it's going to get highly criticized. So at least try to make it on par with DC Collectibles. And we could see that you have the detail and the the abilities to do it with like how close that Green Arrow figure looks. The Batgirl looks phenomenal. So I think they got it in them, but I'm not too impressed with the Superman. The Batman I think is cool because it is different, and it is a different version of that. And I already have the other Batmans, but if you're someone that hadn't jumped on the line early and were thinking, okay, I'm not going to spend the inflated prices for the scalping prices for the animated Batman, I'm going to wait for the McFarlane one because hopefully it looks like it. I could see why you'd be disappointed. At first, I'm just, of course, joking on it because that's just like what I like to do. But I could see how it's cool to have something a little different from what they've released in years previous. So I'm like Kevin. I'm really looking forward to see what is coming up in this next animated wave. And hopefully we get a lot of characters that we haven't seen made before.
Definitely. I hope we see a
but
good
overall,
Robin
I'm
figure.
stoked. And I'm really happy, like we talked about, like there's already people sold out of them. And before you could get Mattel, you could wait like for years and still find the Mattel you're looking for because no one really cared about them. So it's nice to see all the new renewed interest in DC figures and the excitement and that sort of thing.
Massively excited, and Kevin, I saw it again earlier because you mentioned it to me about the Batman and the Joker, the Arkham Asylum figures they're going to be doing as well. I'll be getting those definitely because I can imagine them looking really cool. I can imagine them being pretty damn good figures with all the articulation.
What happens if they're not?
Then we've got ones like these to enjoy.
I want to hear your fury. I want to hear your fury unleashed upon McFarlane toys if they're ugly. No, I'm just kidding.
No, there's some really good stuff from this first wave so far. There's some that's not so great, but there's some that's really good, and I think it's a definite improvement from some of the Mattel stuff we were getting. I've seen a lot of people still in denial saying, "Oh, we're missing Mattel. You know, this is a disaster what they've done." It's like, look at what we had in the last sort of
year. The distribution alone was crap.
Yeah, if we just look at what we've had in the last few years from Mattel, there's been a handful of good figures and then a bucket full of absolute crap that we've had from them.
If you could find
and like it's just, you know, the problem is that these very same people that can't open their eyes and see crap for crap, and you just, you know, Mattel's basically giving you free figures and you can't admit that there was a problem with them, a lot of these people. So yeah, I'm not buying the fact that this is a catastrophe. Sure, you might not like what's come out, but I think they've already done better than Mattel's last few waves. So
that's probably what it really is. They probably won't get free figures from
exactly. Exactly. And they can't admit that it's not a good thing. But oh well, that's their thing. It sounds like a them problem.
That's true. And I love like all people were like, yes, it's Mafex and Mezco for me. It's like, okay, but you'll just get the same like Batman and Superman and different versions released every couple of years.
I've seen a lot
instead
of people
like different characters.
Yeah, I think it's very easy to become sort of an action figure snob as well sometime and say, oh no, these figures look cheap, they look crap. They're 20 quid each. Like if you were paying the 60, 70, 80, $90 price that you're paying for these Mafex figures, and I get you can criticize them, but they're 20 quid. They're probably less than that in America, but they're 20 quid. Like, it's a plastic action figure. Like, just get over yourself, for God's sake. Like, you don't have to spend the world on it if you don't want to buy it.
How am I supposed to photograph this cheap-looking figure?
I know, yeah. God, how can this cheap figure possibly be on my account? Like, just honestly, get over it, man.
I love it. Okay, do you think it's time to go into the top figures of the year for 2019?
Let's do it.
This is where you take over, Scott.
Well, so what we did last year is we kind of broke it down into companies. So we've done the same again, and I thought we could name a company, talk about good points, bad points, favorite figures.
And Kevin, you're in on this.
Terrible figures.
Yeah,
absolutely. So we're going to start where we usually start and go straight in for Mezco. And Mezco, well, they didn't release Batman 89, so that's a catastrophe. But yeah, you guys, what do you reckon to Mezco?
Kevin?
I personally still don't have any Mezco figures, so I can't, speak to the actual quality, but they definitely seem to release a lot of the same stuff. Just variants, I guess.
Yeah, like Gomez.
Well,
Terrible Gomez figures.
yeah, I mean, even just like the 3 Batmans, like, calm down, we got it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
This one is all black.
Yeah.
Well, the only Mezco I got this year, and it was the only one I would really want and recommend, is Darkseid.
Yeah.
Because even Mattel, they didn't release a good Darkseid, and the Darkseids that released in previous, they're tiny, or their head looks way too big, or something like that. So it's nice to have a definitive comic version, Jack Kirby looking Darkseid. He came with 3 or 4 face plates, Omega beams, his eyes light up, tons of accessories, and just all the details, and just like the glove alone, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that's the one Mezco I would recommend getting, but the previous Mezco I bought before him was a Catwoman, and she broke the minute you tried to move her. So
yeah, and she's fallen off a cliff. Really, nobody seems to photograph her anymore. It's strange. Like, at first, it was like everyone loved the Catwoman, like yourself included, Tyler, and then now I just don't see anyone.
I posted her today.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, just I hardly ever see it photographed, and I think that the 3 good figures they've done this year, the Clown Prince of Crime Joker, he was a brilliant figure. We waited long enough for him. Waited like nearly 2 years, but finally got here. The Darkseid, as you said, look, fantastic figure, one of the best figures likely that they'll ever make. And I think the Mezco Golden was brilliant, even though it's one of the most boring figures I've ever seen. That's not Mezco's fault that people can't photograph it imaginatively. The Golden figure's fantastic, and there's only a handful of people that actually get any form of creativity out of him.
That's true.
I've seen like Lewis has done some great pictures.
At least Lewis takes him off the rooftop.
Lewis and Vincent, who was at VinFaith Custom. I love some of the work he does with that Golden too. But otherwise, everyone just takes a picture of him with a bat signal. That's just so boring. Do something different.
Like, how has no one had him stripped down in like a carnival ride, tied up?
Yeah. Do something completely different with him. Yeah, do something cool with him. Stop photographing him radioing for Batman when it's just boring. Yeah.
I do give Mezco the biggest troll of the year for showing us the 89 and then not showing us any pre-order or even trying to disappear.
Yeah.
You didn't see it, and then just not showing it anymore.
And we haven't forgotten we haven't forgotten the Batmobile that you showed as well, Mezco. That they showed that Batmobile on Batman Day.
Do you want another Gomez?
Yeah.
And then they just put a Stealth Ops Gomez out and sweep it under the carpet. It's so annoying.
Here's Batman Gomez.
Yeah, they probably will get to a point where they'll do that one day. But so Mezco, mixed bag.
Thank you, Mezco.
Yeah.
They'll put Keaton's head on a Gomez, and you'll be like, "What?"
Could you imagine? That would be horrendous, wouldn't it?
It's a different kind of Ant-Man.
And yet they did that. They did that Batman &89 with the big head, the big massive Mezco head, and the tiny body, where it looks like a power pod. That just didn't really work at all. And their King Kong as well. That was a good release this year.
Oh
that
yeah, I got him.
Cool. Yeah, that was a cool figure. I've seen the big pictures of the 18-inch one. He looks bloody brilliant, I got to say.
And I usually only use them as a garage.
Gorilla. That's a good shout. So now let's have a look at a few of the import companies. So Mayfax. I feel like Mayfax have had an amazing year. I'm not going to lie. So
you lead it off while I look at my Mayfax.
Mayfax had the 2 Bruce Wayne figures. They got the Nolan figure and the Snyder figure, the Ben Affleck and the Christian Bale Mayfax figures. They were absolutely unbelievable figures, and especially that Mayfax 3.0 Dark Knight figure where you can switch all the parts out with the Bruce Wayne as well. I think that's a fantastic feature that they put in. Just trying to find a picture of that Bruce Wayne. But yeah, I think they had a fantastic year. Lewis loves the Affleck Bruce Wayne. He put him in his top 5 favourite figures, and you can see why. It's a fantastic release. There it is. But yeah, really, 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 really nice figure. Enjoyed that one a lot. But I think the Cyborg came out towards the end of last year, so that doesn't quite make it. But the Cyborg was a brilliant release as well. So yeah, Mayfax had a solid year, and we got like the Aquaman from them as well, which came out towards the end of the year. That's a cool figure. Still can't afford it, but
Shazam's coming.
Shazam's coming in the next couple of months as well, isn't it? Fantastic figure, that one. Probably be getting that, but
my Mayfix year is non-existent. I did not get any May.
Really?
Yeah, Mayfix had a pretty cool year.
Yeah, I did get definitely that Bruce Wayne, and I think I did some catch up on the Dark Knight trilogy figures.
Yeah,
A couple of the Raishes, the Two-Face, the Bruce Wayne, maybe one other. I'm debating the Batpod because I have the Mattel one from years ago, but
yeah, that Batpod's amazing. That's the one I've got too.
yeah, I kind of want to replace it just for the aesthetic, but
yeah,
it's not
very,
cheap.
it's very fragile. I've got to say, like the handlebars on it are just horrible sometimes getting to hold it.
Huh.
But it's
But it
very
looks
detailed.
dope.
Details really cool.
Oh yeah, and I got the 3.0 Batman and debated getting another one just because he is so cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because then, have you seen like the 1/6 kit scale down, like the Hot Toys scale down to fit all the Mayfix figures, like all the recasts they've done?
Oh yeah.
The Bruce Wayne. Yeah, I would probably buy one of those and put it on the 3.0 just to have the classic unmasked look. But I just don't have room, so I don't know.
That's a good shout, actually. Yeah, that's what I did with the Arkham Bruce Wayne head. That was a shrunken Hot Toys one, and then painted it for me. So what we'd look at next, SH Figure Arts. They haven't really done a lot that we've probably brought into, but I've seen they've done a lot of cool Marvel figures this year, which regret to say, because I know Lewis has got that Thanos, which looks brilliant, and then the stealth suit Spider-Man as well. He looks very cool.
Yeah, I may have a few of those too.
Oh, you do? Nice.
Yeah.
Which ones?
Which ones?
Let's see. Well, definitely that armored Endgame Thanos.
Nice.
Basically, Iron Man 1 through 7 suits, and kind of the core Avengers. Debating a couple more, but again, room. So I don't know.
Another secret collection we've left.
Oh yeah. Back here, there's basically the Dark Knight stuff, the Avengers stuff, figure arts, Star Wars.
Nice. Those are really nice.
Bunch of Star Trek.
It's like the Disney shelf almost.
Yeah. Then there's like 3D tools of Star Trek, and then a whole one of Battlestar 2.
Star Trek.
Oh yeah.
Real science fiction.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't really discriminate between Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, DC. It's all good.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of Mayfix, the only thing I can say in figure arts is I have the Batman Begins Mayfix, which I can never say enough about. I think that's like one of my favorite Batman figures.
Amazing figure. Amazing.
I love the figure arts Harley Quinn, the OG Suicide Squad one, and the Dark Knight, even though it's not as accessory laden as the Mayfix one. It's still serviceable. Still pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoy what they do. Just not interested in a lot of the Marvel stuff they released this year. Sadly.
Yeah, they haven't really released a lot of DC stuff, have they, since the Injustice figures and the Justice League figures as well. But actually, speaking of Injustice, the next company I was going to talk about is Hired Toys. Because I know you got a few stuff.
Let me grab them.
Tyler. You got a few stuff from them, but they got some cool stuff coming out as well. Their Green Lantern that they've got coming out looks really cool.
Here's a Harley.
Oh yeah.
Really cool Supergirl. Yeah, and in terms of like SH Figure Arts, I would say that these are just basically 4-inch versions of figure arts because they have a lot of articulation. They don't have double elbow or anything like that, but they have a lot of very similar articulation to a figure arts.
Yeah. Yeah, they look pretty cool, those ones.
I would say my favorite is the Flash. This is a really cool looking.
Yeah.
The Joker reminds me too much of Jared Leto. So I'm not too much of a fan. Here he is. Leto Joker.
Trying to find some pictures of your soap stuff on here somewhere, Tyler.
Soap?
Not soap stuff, sorry.
Oh, there she is.
Although that was what I was going to mention next. Soap Studios. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. I have them in hand, too.
Yeah, so Soap Studios.
here's that.
So Soap Studio, what do you reckon to them this year?
Well, the one thing that we've always talked about on the show is that their first figure, which is the Flash, was kind of weak. But the Green Arrow was next, and he was decent. And we've talked about the pros and cons and what they should do. And ever since then, I feel like they've tried to improve upon their figures each time. And even this one, a lot of the biggest concerns, and a lot of people did not like how they had the head. That is a lot like a Mezco head sculpt, where it just goes in there and it just moves around like a ball joint. It doesn't have an extra neck articulation. And then on this newest figure, which is their Newt Scamander, I've never seen the movie, but this is their newest figure, and they added the extra joints onto the neck. So I'm really excited to see their new Dark Knight figures, especially like their Batman one that they've teased, because I just think that they continue to get better and better. And here's a Two-Face, another one from this year that they released.
Nice.
That definitely made my favorites list. But I really am looking forward to that Batman Soap Studios. That's one I've been looking forward to a long time. And even like this is one that they came out with at the end of last year, and it's still one of my favorite figures, the Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, really excited to see that Batman. I think it's going to take some doing for me to want to buy it because of the Mafex one. How good that is.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, it looks good, I've got to say. So far, it looks very impressive, that figure. But they need to do a Supergirl as well. And then they tease out Supergirl.
And in the skirt.
Definitely need to make her.
Do both versions.
Then the infamous Nurse Joker as well that hasn't quite come about yet. Hopefully,
the way of the '89 bats from Mezco.
Yeah, it is. It is getting that phantom level. Yeah. Hurry up, Mezco.
Please.
Okay, so I thought the next company we could talk about would be NECA. They've released a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. I feel like over the last year, which is cool because they do look great. To be fair, can't really criticize that. But also we've got the Batman, Superman GL packs that they've released, Comic-Con exclusives. They got some really neat figures.
Yes, they also had the John Connor exclusive on the motorbike, and I got to see that in person. My cousin got that, and that thing is fantastic. Even like the Terminator arm and the jar display is so detailed and just photographs great. He comes with extra head sculpt. He has a bandana on as well. So, I mean, NECA, they do really well at capturing likeness and getting every detail right of what it looks like. But I just know I still saw horror stories of people like, oh, I moved it once and just snapped off.
True.
And that's exactly what happened to my '89 Batman. I know that's just the way it goes sometimes, especially with like a Mafex figure or NECA, where some are better than others and some will break, and that's just the gamble sometimes, but it still sucks.
True.
I saw the Turtles in person too, and those are really nice.
And they also did the diorama, of course, which is a massive thing for everybody. Like most people got that diorama, apart from me because I got nowhere for it. But
I bought it around this time last year, so it counts.
Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? The diorama. Loads of people still get great use out of it.
It's so versatile too. The fact that you can take it apart and move pieces.
True.
So it is a good investment.
Yeah, the NECA diorama is probably something I'll end up getting at some point. Just so damn big and expensive, but it looks good. And of course, the Batman and the Superman and the Green Lantern that they did as well, they all look really cool.
Yes.
Even if some of the head sculpts look kind of messy, especially on the Green Lanterns, they don't look particularly clean. Some of the paint looks very, very messy.
They might have rushed it.
Yeah. I love that Jokerized Predator as well. It looks so cool.
Oh yeah, and I even like the Yellow Lantern Predator. I think the suit alone, if you like just switch head sculpts and put like a Sinestro head on, and it would look dope. Just that armored suit.
Yeah,
so I'd buy it just for that.
Yeah, no, it looks fantastic. But, some pretty cool stuff from them, and we've already kind of touched on McFarlane. I guess there's only Fortnite figures that we've got from them, so that they did pretty good with them, and they kind of shaped the DC line quite a lot. You can see the inspiration that they had for that, and Yeah, I think it's been a good test because some of the Fortnite figures at first were kind of crap, and they've come in and the DC figures look pretty good articulation wise and all that stuff. So they've kind of almost accidentally used the Fortnite line as a bit of a guinea pig for the multiverse, which is definitely the right way around for us DC fans.
Yeah, especially for a free downloadable game.
Yeah, and let's not forget, they're still finding their feet in that. It's not like Mattel when they took over the multiverse line. This was a company that's worked with DC before. They knew what to expect and they still couldn't deliver. Whereas McFarlane is starting off new, so yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. But which brings us on to Mattel over the last year. What do we reckon to Mattel?
They have my top #1 figure of the year. That's what I think of Mattel.
Let me
it
guess,
only took years. Yes. Alfred is the #1. Not only because he's Alfred and he comes with 4 versions of himself, but he allowed the existence of these 2 to come about.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that figure. And I found one of him at Walmart today. You can still find him out and about. Cool. I think it's a great custom figure as well.
Yeah. I got to thank Keven for helping me to get mine. The Multiverse Alfred, fantastic figure. And then also the Penguin as well. The Penguin is a massive
Penguin. This is another one.
He's awesome.
About time we got to. I know a lot of people don't like the Red Rob and the Double R, but what can you do?
Yeah.
This is a good one. So, I mean, overall, I know that the best cape of the year award goes to the Batman. That is Dick Grayson. The little cape.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like he's just got a scarf hanging off his back.
A little see-through scarf.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Well, that's all I really have to say about Mattel.
Yeah, Mattel did okay. Very inconsistent. Some great figures, and then some absolutely terrible ones as well. I mean,
did you delve into Mattel, Kevin?
No. I can't think of any I got this year.
Okay.
It's been a long time since I've gotten Mattel figures.
Dang.
Like,
poor
I
Mattel.
don't know if you even remember this one, the Zipline Batman from early thousands.
Oh, he's cool. Very nice figure.
He might be the last Mattel figure I got.
That's a really nice one, that one. I love the belt on that and the big shoulders. Looks great.
Yeah.
He's a classic.
Yeah, he stays on my desk.
Yeah, he's a lovely figure, that one.
Where do we go after Mattel? Hasbro?
Well,
we're going to do Marvel Legends?
We could if you want. And we're done.
Well, there's only one because it also was fun to scalp. And it was this guy, Worthy Cap.
Yeah.
This was a fun one to hunt. So that's it.
Although Cap is never worthy, let's just point out. You've got the Night Stealth Spider.
Oh yeah,
is that right as well? You got that. He looked quite good. I'm not going to lie, he did look pretty good. It's for a budget figure. I mean, obviously, like the Mayfex and the figure arts look great, but
I got this just for a ninja guy.
Yeah.
And then here's Night Monkey.
He doesn't look too bad, to be fair, for a budget figure.
No. And it was a birthday gift, so I didn't have to spend money.
Yes, that is the important thing. It wasn't your financial decision to buy that figure. Just want to make it very clear for all the DC fans listening. Yeah, the last company that I got on the list so far, it's probably the one that we brought the most from, I want to say. Maybe not the best one, but the one we brought the most from. It's DC Collectibles.
I think I know. Yes.
Yeah. So they did a lot of good and quite a lot of bad this year. So what do you guys reckon to this very controversial company?
Let's let Kevin speak because I feel like he does the most work with these figures.
Yeah, definitely. They're definitely the company I bought the most from, but a lot of that's from the last couple of years of figures. But even just, like the 5 that came out this year, like the Grey Ghost Wave and the Bat Cycle, those are, I mean, some of my new favorites. Yeah, Scarecrow's great. Yeah, really, I mean, they kind of put out the best figures last as far as like the quality and everything, but oh well.
Just like Mattel.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they had the Batman v Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures as well. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic figures. And
and it came so close. I was like,
that Batman's outstanding.
Yeah. Especially, you know, seeing him in person, getting him free. I was like, man, these are pretty awesome. But
yeah, I did massive thanks for them because they're fantastic figures. They really are. And like I said, the Batman and the Robin, definitely two of the top figures. I think they're my favourite ones, apart from the V-Toys Batman. I think they're my favourite ones that have come out this year. Brilliant. But, I mean, DC Collectibles kind of disappointed me personally towards the end of the year with that awful repaint wave. Dreadful wave.
Yeah.
And then I feel like the Bat Cycle was a little underwhelming. It had a big build-up, and then the Batman had a horrible joint in the middle of his chest, which I still hate. But I feel like if they'd done the year, but in reverse, it would have been better. So they ended with the animated wave of figures, and we would have probably been saying better things about them. But the fact that they ended the year with that pointless repaint, which just, yeah. And they took half the accessories out of it anyway.
Yeah, the worst part.
yeah.
Which was really, really strange decision. And they absolutely butchered that Ivy.
Because you know there's people that were stoked, like Mr. Freeze on his own. Yes. Oh, wait a second. What?
I saw them in store with every intention of going to get them, and then I couldn't be bothered. Like spending like nearly £100 on 4 of them, and it's just like, nah, it's not worth it. Really, it's a lot of money, but yeah, they killed it with that Scarecrow, Grey Ghost, Two-Face, and Hard Act wave. That was a fantastic wave.
Mm-hmm.
Really was brilliant. And then the DC Prime Batman as well came out this year, which I've never seen photographed.
Never.
And for that,
the 8-incher.
Yeah.
For that exact reason, I pledged to buy him in 2020. I will get him just for the fact that no one else has got him. I want to see what he's like. I'm going to spend like £70 just to be awkward.
I'm sure it's down in price on like eBay and Amazon.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try and get him just because I want to see what he's like. No one else has got him. I think it'd be interesting to see.
It's like a bad movie. You almost got to like it just to get so bad.
Yeah,
it's
like Batman and Robin. Nobody wants to watch it, but they do because it's part of the 4 movies they made.
Yes.
You have to watch it anyway. Yeah, you just have to do it. It's okay. It's obligatory.
Is that all the companies?
That's all the companies, yeah. That's all the ones that have got. Oh, and by the way, the Essentials are still terrible.
Oh, yes. Minus the Red Hood figure.
Yes, Red Hood was great. The rest were terrible.
Now, my question for you guys. Top 5 figures overall. What do you pick for this year?
That we brought or that has been released?
Released, because you already did the bot.
Wow, that's a tough one. Do you want me to go first, Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay. So V-Toys Batman #1, comfortably.
Solid.
By a mile. Number 2, any of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles wave, the animated wave. I think they're just brilliant figures. Number 3. Oh, it's tough. This I'm going to put in that. I'm going to put in the custom Joker if I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah, of course you are. That counts.
I'm going to put the custom Joker in. Number 4, probably.
That's a lot of work to get that one to come together. That has to be.
Oh man, it was. I'm not going to lie. I'll go for that one then at number 3, and then number 4. I'm going to say. It's really tough. This is. I'm going to go for the Mafex Bruce Wayne.
Nice.
The Bale one, though, not the Affleck one, because no one really shoots the Bale one, so I like shooting that one. It's good fun. And then number 5, the Essentials Red Hood, I think. Yeah,
that's a solid list.
Red Hood, yeah.
Solid list. Couple in there that are like mass produced. Couple gems in there that took some hunting. I like it.
Yes, indeed. And
Kevin, art thou ready? Or do you need more time? Because I could go if you need more time.
No, I think I'm good.
All right.
It's going to look a little biased with animated, but yeah, I'd say
that's allowed in your.
Yeah, it's going to have to be the Two-Face be number 5.
Solid.
He's one of their best likenesses, I think. And as
It's
much
hard
as
to take a bad photo of him.
yeah, as much as like when we first saw the promo photos, like all the articulation change was like, oh no, they're not going to match. But no, it works out pretty well. You know, like him and Gregos both. Scarecrow probably right above him.
Oh, Scarecrow.
Yeah, he's because even like the swappable heads. That's just one of the things I was saying. Like they did even better at the end. You know, that way you've had 2 swappable heads with Hardhack and Scarecrow, and that would have been nice to see earlier on. But I don't have any of the turtles, but I'm going to assume those will go in there for sure.
Yeah, brilliant.
And then, so was the Mayfix 3.0 Batman? Was that actually released this year?
I believe so.
I'm not too sure. I think it was like 2018. I think it got
released.
Otherwise, I'd have rocketed that up to like 3rd if it was.
Dang.
Yeah. Well,
that's brilliant.
Well, he's my number 2.
That counts if you bob.
It's allowed.
And then since we're doing customs, it's gonna have to be number 1 is Lobo.
Yeah, Lobo's brilliant.
That might be number 1 of the year in customs. That thing looks great.
Thanks. Yeah, he was a lot of time.
Yeah. So now, Tyler, it's your turn. What are you going to pick?
Okay. My number 5, for the exact same reasons. The 2 heads. And it's just, I've been waiting so long for this Scarecrow figure. I love him. He came with great accessories, too, with the sickle. Number 4, custom. My first one that I actually did myself with the sculpting with the hair. I don't know if you guys saw this movie.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's not as easy to get out anymore, but
that's understandable.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna have to go number 3, Bank Robber Heath. Then number 2. Number 2.
Yeah.
Big surprise. Choice. Big surprise. And then number 1, I already tipped it.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Nice.
It's Alfred. And then I also want to know if you guys have a particular favorite collect and connect of the year, like a Build-A-Figure.
Oh, that's good. That's a good point. I mean, the favorite one I brought is easily the Validus, but he wasn't released this year. He's an old figure. But
still bought it.
Yeah, I brought Validus this year from the old DC Universe Classics. What I'm not going to do now is get him out of the cabinet. I've just seen about.
Just hear an avalanche.
Because of Justice League v Fatal 5 this year. It's a fantastic movie.
We want to spare you the work.
Yeah, I'm going to say Validus.
That's a good call. Keven?
It's really annoying because if this guy was a few days earlier, he could have been in my top 5. But thanks to the UK customs, that wasn't possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I got him.
Is he actually articulated too?
Yeah.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, not basically just the arms there.
Hey,
but even
for that, for an egg, that's good.
Yeah, I can't think of any that I got.
Okay.
Really, I don't even know if I have any Build-A-Figures at all.
I would say 1 was the best for me, and it was this. That's how big it was. Mouth articulates. He has all the articulation you want. I think it was a good way for Mattel to go out, even though the last couple of years they weren't the best.
Yeah. Well, what was the most surprisingly good figure that you got this year? You thought it was going to be pretty crap, but it was actually very good, or actually pretty good. You're impressed by?
I could say one of the newest figures I got, but that's because I don't know anything about it, and that's that Newt figure.
Yeah.
Well, I would say the DC Collectibles TMNT ones. I didn't know that those were going to be as good, and they ended up being one of the best Batman figures released this
year. Yeah, true.
I could see that. I'll just agree with that.
Yeah. That's actually a really good point. I'm going to go with Penguin, I think. I'm going to tell Penguin. I didn't think he was going to be fantastic. Thought he might be like a cheap really bad Penguin, but he's actually very good and stands alongside like the NECA Batman, no problem. Looks brilliant alongside him.
And a Mattel with cloth goods.
Yeah, exactly. And Mattel and cloth goods, you just think it's going to be a cheap mess, but it actually looks really good. So,
or a Barbie.
Yeah, fair play to fair play to them for that. Yeah, and when are we ever going to get another Penguin figure? So, yeah, fair play for actually doing that to Mattel. So,
and if we never got a Jack Nicholson Joker, this is the next best thing.
It is, yeah. No, it is really, definitely is.
All right. Is there any other things we could talk about?
Well, that's pretty much it for the year round. But excited to see what we get next year, especially from DC Collectibles. It's quite a big year for them. They got a lot of releases, like the General Justice League figure release. All the adventures continue to begin releasing them. So it's going to be interesting. Loads of Mezco supposedly coming out this year. We've got already all the stuff coming out from McFarlane, and loads to look forward to. I think 2020 is going to be an even bigger year. I think for
better save,
which is crazy.
Save that money.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with the price rises and the adventure continues.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The adventure continues and the debt continues.
I'm not even bothered about that wave anymore. I'm just too excited about the McFarlane figures now. I don't even care about those animated figures, really. It's crazy.
Yeah, I do hope that it gives us a nice alternative and a huge variety of characters from the animated series.
I think that's it, isn't it? Just to give us something else to think about rather than just collecting DC collectibles all the time, because it does get kind of boring sometimes. It's fun to see other things. So, yeah, hopefully it's good.
Like, imagine if the next release or the next announcement is, okay, the next Batman figure is Sewer King. That would blow my mind.
Just something different, yeah.
I would love if they did a Sewer King.
Yeah, I did hear Jim Fletcher on, I think it was the Bat Force radio podcast like a month ago or so. He said, they had looked at doing, this is kind of ridiculous, updates of like the 90s crazy variant Batmans, like to do those again in this line.
No.
And I'm really hoping they don't do that because, like I said, it looks like they're just putting out repaints of the figures we know with the unlicensed, more or less, characters that they're kind of coming up with. So I think that might be their creative way to still get more Batman and Robin out, is to do those. I really hope that's not what we see at Toy Fair.
The first thing that comes to mind when I hear that is these people are so dumb they'll buy anything. Just reprint the same crap and they'll buy it. It's like remaking Dr. Dolittle for the 4th time or Pretty Woman for the 7th time.
Yeah. I think they'll just
really
label
need
it.
that?
Yeah, they'll market it as nostalgia and they'll do it poorly. I know, I hope they don't do it, but he said that they had prototypes. And then he even said that, they did have a prototype of Bruce Wayne. I'm like, oh, why?
No, it's just so stupid. Like, what level of lunatic is in charge of that company at times? Like,
yeah.
I really do. Like, Jim Fletcher's a cool guy, but please stop doing these stupid statues and actually make some figures. It's just weird. I think there was a senior guy that left at DC Collectibles a few years ago. I can't remember his name, but ever since he left, it's been falling downhill. Like, rapidly.
His name was Keven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not this Keven, but yeah, this Keven should be in charge. Okay. I have another moment of the year. My favorite question asked to any guest of the year goes to Scott when he asked Jason Langston, who worked at Mattel and works at a lot of toy companies, straight up, essentially asked them, does DC Collectibles have any clue what they're doing or any plan? in a nice question. And I think even he was about to say, hey, does Scott realize he was like a pro interviewer with the way he asked that question, but he got cut off at the end. But that was my favorite question of the year for this show because it was semi-direct, but the way he did it was just smug enough to where you get away with it. I loved it. It was perfectly asked. So that's my favorite question of the year for this show.
I completely forgot about that moment. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, I could not forget about it.
That probably, if Jason's listening now, I do apologise, Jason. I do apologise, but I stand by my point. They've got no idea what they're doing.
Just put him on the spot.
Yeah.
I work with all these people. They're my friends.
Yeah, I am really sorry to Jason if he's listening, but I do stand by my point. They have no idea what they're doing.
Oh, that was gold.
Yeah,
also,
brilliant.
very highly listened to episodes. I'm sure a lot of people enjoy it.
Yeah, we'll have to have Jason back on. I know he was actually one of the few people that I've seen who was obviously an ex-Mattel person, and it was quite highly praising in the McFarlane stuff. So it's good to see someone being impartial and not with sort of Mattel beer goggles on or something. So that was good to see. Yeah, it was good to see. So so in terms of Instagram news lately, is there anything you guys have been seeing around the new year that's been exciting or annoying you guys? Because I know there's been some very exciting Batman news that I know Tyler was mentioning a few days ago, and it's something that you had mentioned as well, Kevin. So
yeah, well, nothing really like in terms of people getting annoying on Instagram or complaining about stuff or anything like that. I feel like everyone's wanting to start the new year off well, but I am excited on some of the images I saw of the leaked set of the Batman.
Yes.
Saw a lot of blimps. And I didn't think it was too spoilery. I just think it's cool.
It does look really cool, doesn't it? And the fact that there's a cathedral as well is very interesting. Yeah,
and I guess someone sent me that and they said that I guess the scene is supposed to be a funeral. But they said it's not a Bruce Wayne funeral, so that's not a spoiler. And hopefully we're not going to see that for like the 1,000th time.
Yeah, we don't want to see it again. We really don't. No.
Like even in the Joker movie, it was like, okay, just get through it.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the alternate ending of the Joker that they had?
Yes, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was madness.
Killing Bruce.
I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah.
That would have driven me over the top, but
yeah.
I think killing Bruce would have confirmed it was definitely all in his head. So,
it takes away the integrity of the whole film too.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you basically got that Joker there with nobody possibly ever being Batman, which is, so it's all just a fantasy then. But so I guess it is kind of good that they took it out. Maybe, I'm not sure.
But it is crazy to know that something like that even was filmed or exists.
True. Yeah, very true. No, it is utter madness, but
that is pretty cool. Are you guys going to be getting the Blu-ray of Joker comes out this next upcoming Tuesday?
It didn't come out in the UK until February, which is deeply annoying. I will be getting it when it comes out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have to.
I can't
My
wait
first
to see
DVD bought in like years.
I keep watching clips of the Murray Franklin show on YouTube. It's just, it's so good.
Did you see all his entrances?
The acting in it is just unbelievable. It's so good.
Have you seen that video where he does all the different entrances?
I think I've seen it around on Instagram. That's people's stories. Yeah,
it looks hilarious.
But so good, like that. For a movie like that, obviously the budget's low. There's not going to be any sort of like green screen crap and all that. It's all literally based on acting, and it's so good, back to basic sort of DC ways. And the new Batman movie is supposed to be based on a similar sort of idea when it's in the 90s and everything. So I can't wait, man. It's going to be great.
I heard someone complain saying the Joker movie was only good because of the lead actor. I was like, well, yeah, that's the whole movie. That's the whole point of the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, of course. That's like if you didn't have Tony Stark played by Robert Downey Jr., it would suck, I'm sure.
That's like a criticism I hear a lot. So this is a strange comparison, but I love Coldplay, right? Favorite band, and I say, oh, you only like that song because Coldplay sing it. Like, well, yeah, because I like Coldplay, and it's the same thing. Like, it's only good because of Joaquin Phoenix. So yeah, because he's great. So obviously it's good. It's
a simple story.
Stupid criticism.
Yeah, it might be a simple story, but the fact that he was able to elevate the material to where people were like losing their minds and went over $1 billion, that says something.
Yeah.
Well, it's only duh. That's why he was cast.
Our best R-rated movie ever. I mean, it's made Venom the next movie. That's now R-rated because of this movie, isn't it? So Yeah, nicely Marvel copying DC for a change.
Hopefully, that would be funny if they continue to do that. See like a Thanos movie.
Brilliant.
All right. Well, is it time to wrap it up?
Well,
do you have
the only last thing to do. We have figure of the week, yeah, where all three of us can chip into our favorite figure this week that we've been just enjoying or photographing or working on in Kevin's case. So, you guys, what are you going to choose for your figure of the week?
Kevin.
Let's see. As far as I guess I'll kind of have two, but just because this one's
allowed.
Because Raish isn't done. He's the one I've been working on the most this week. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you these two. These are little. Oh, geez. This is going to be the Superman, the animated or the anti-kryptonite.
Oh yes, fantastic!
I painted him blue so that when he goes behind the shield, and then this is the Clark. But
that looks good. That looks very good.
You can't see it. His glasses are here. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, I'll say another custom, but since I took the photo, this one.
Yeah,
Gordon. Yeah. I was just
still have that pickup.
You what?
I still have it up on my computer looking at it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, like I said in the post, I've been looking forward to doing that for like a good year or so. And then just kind of actually threw that diorama together and shot it in like 45 minutes. It was just really quick.
That
But
looks good.
thanks. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Anyway.
All right. My figure of the week, because I was just surprised how cool it was. And it's the only figure I've gotten the last week. This one from Soap Studios. Pretty cool. And if it's just the foretaste of what's coming from the Batman, I'm pretty stoked. So that's my figure.
Awesome. Well, mine's a bit of a cheat, to be honest. I've got two figures, but the two that I've enjoyed photographing this week. First one is the Preserver made by our guest himself, Keven, at Rental Customs. Fantastic figure. Really enjoyed doing the picture of him that I did for the first part of our theme this weekend.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed doing that one. I definitely need to try and plan some more stuff with the Preserver because he's a fantastic figure. Yeah, lovely detail, and there's from the back. Look at that lovely cloak he's wearing. Fantastic. Yeah, and also it's a game that I've been playing recently and loving playing it again. The Arkham Asylum Batman game, so definitely putting him in there as well.
With the blue Batman.
A DC Direct Battle Damage Batman from the Arkham Asylum game. Fantastic figure and probably my favourite Arkham Batman. It looks fantastic. So yeah, those are my two figures of the week and love playing Asylum at the minute. It's a brilliant game.
Those are solid picks. I'm jealous that you're playing Asylum.
Makes me want to play it. Loving it. Love playing Asylum. It's just that sort of claustrophobic, tight-knit game. It's brilliant.
And then when you hear like the creepy voices on the radio, that's always fun.
Yeah, the scarecrow in it as well is amazing.
Yeah, that was when I knew I absolutely loved it. Was that first like morgue jump scene scare?
Oh man, it was fantastic, isn't it? Yeah, awesome.
All right, well, this is the first show of 2020. We're stoked that we had Keven on from Ranky Customs.
Yeah, thanks.
And if you don't know how to spell it, let me help you guys out. It's at REINKE Customs on Instagram. And if you want to see a bunch of figures that you'll never see from DC Collectibles done like they look like they're done from DC Collectibles, you'll find them at his page. And if you want to see a photo of one he did recently, Scott just had him up. And there's a photo as well at his page where it's done very well and also shows the accessory it comes with. And any closing words from you guys on this first episode of 2020?
Big thanks to everybody who's listened in over the last 12 months and beyond, and a big thanks to those who plan to listen in for the next 12 months and beyond. And also a massive thanks to you, Keven, for coming on, and big thanks to you, Tyler, as well, for doing this every week and suffering my presence for the next 12 months.
It's not suffering. It's the only thing that gets me through the week sometimes.
Yeah, I must point out it was my fault that this podcast is delayed going out as well. It's been horribly ill.
Not, no.
Cheers to you guys for being patient.
No, we're happy
that's
that
fine.
you're not in misery while you're trying to talk about toys.
There was the Marvel Legends bit, but the rest of it was good.
See, if you were sick, you wouldn't have this quick firing wit right now.
Yeah.
But this was a good, fun first episode. I've been looking forward to it, especially having Keven on throughout the whole thing was a blast. And maybe we'll try to make it a reoccurring thing throughout the year if he's got the time.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
So,
it was a good honor to join you on the, not just the guests, but like the pre-show part or whatever. But also, I'm disappointed I won't be able to listen to the next one since I was a part of it. So I got to wait like 2 weeks for the next one.
Where are you going? Are you going on vacation?
No. I mean, I guess I could listen to this one, but I'm just saying, like, well,
I get what you mean.
oh, my son's awake. There he is. You see him? Yeah. Probably time to go.
Is it little Bruce? Okay.
Yeah, Ben.
All right. Well, this has been DC Figures and Collectibles. Again, a big thank you to Keven for not only joining us, but letting us see some of his great customs, some of them in action, and also you can see his crazy cool collection in the background. And his son's letting us know that we've had enough of his dad. It's time for him to go back to his duties as the super bad dad. Oh, there he is. You're going to be famous, kid. No. All right. Well, everyone here at DC Figures and Collectibles, we hope that you join us next time. And we have a special guest waving goodbye as we're out. So thank you, guys.